Hello, welcome to the Tea Party Hardy channel for a review of Jordan Peele's Twilight Zone 2019, Season 2, Episode 9, Try. Okay, this is, we've got one episode left after this one, and this is Episode 9, and this episode, along with so many others, is just a gigantic embarrassment for people that consider themselves professional entertainers, movie makers, TV show makers, however they want to clarify themselves. This is yet another example in this series of just so wrong and so bad. And yet, here again, I must say, the acting is fantastic. I don't know why these actors signed up to be in such phenomenally revolting episodes with the title Twilight Zone. If you are a fan of Walt Disney the human being, then you know what has happened to that poor man's corporation and his name through the help of Bob Iger just desecrating the name Walt Disney, and no difference to Star Wars from George Lucas. Oh, there's rumors that George might buy the franchise back. Wouldn't that be lovely? We'll have to see how that plays out. Okay, so spoiler free. Thinking about it, really easy to do on this one. This episode is an absolute 100% complete ripoff of a well-known movie that I shall not name to prevent spoilers. It is a comedy fantasy movie, and this is not a comedy fantasy episode, though it kind of starts as one. And then what it does, and this is why it's so embarrassing. You know, you've heard the term derivative, that it derives from something else. This is, I'm going to use the example again because I'm starting to think must be based on truth. This really feels like a kid in writing class who stole somebody else's homework and then just tweaked it at the last second and turned it in as their own, because that's what you're going to get in this episode. In the other episode where it was the sci-fi one with the couple and the kid, oh god, that just went nowhere. That was the worst of the worst of the worst. This is lazier. This is worse in the category of lazy. They stole somebody else's homework. They changed tiny little things in it and turned it in as their own. And you will know when you're watching this. Oh, I think it's at 28 minutes where they reveal it, and then you're like, oh no, you're not. Oh, you are. And it's an idea that's been stolen phenomenally large amount of times since it came out, even though it was a pioneer movie. It works in Christmas movies, because in Christmas movies they don't take themselves seriously. This is obnoxious with the music. It's just like, dude, we know what movie you stole from, and it was a comedy. It was a romantic comedy fantasy. And you're adding horror music on top of it. Isn't changing anybody's mind. It doesn't make it any more scarier. It just shows that you stole somebody's homework, made tiny little tweaks, and then had the nerve to call it your own. You should be fired for plagiarism immediately, if not sooner. And then you should be punished greatly in the work field to say, not only was there plagiarism, but had the nerve to barely make any changes. Now, I already mentioned that the actors were great. So there's Topher Grace. His real name is Christopher. He just chose to use the backside. And, you know, he was famed from That 70s Show where he wore that wig, so it actually does make him a little bit more difficult to recognize. But, wow, he's a great actor, and he just is underutilized. He's good. And what was I going to say about it? Well, anyways, it slipped. Sorry. Long day. Having a good time, though. So, anyways, this is just total garbage. Total garbage. I've already covered all the reasons why, so with that, we'll wrap it up, and we will see you in the future, because I'm about to watch the last one. I do not read other people's reviews before I watch it, so I did look at the number, though, and IMDb hated the next one more than all of them combined, so I was like, wow, what am I getting into? Because this was so... Well, it was just stolen. That's the problem with this one. He stole it. And he didn't improve on it by any stretch of the imagination. Whereas the other one with the sci-fi with the parent and the kids, like, wow, the face, what face is this, or the face is human, whatever it was called. It's not worth memorizing, but it is absolutely worth staying away from. God, just the idea that these people get jobs, and they get high-paying jobs, and it's just drivel. It's just absolute, total drivel. How does this happen? It's disgusting. There's so many qualified people out there. Again, Black Mirror was awesome. There was like 3 episodes that were weak. And that's the thing. Oh, that's what I was going to say. I don't know if Topher Grace was in Black Mirror or if he was in the first season of Twilight Zone of Jordan Peele's. But he played a guru, a high-tech guru. And I can't remember which one it was. It was probably Black Mirror, because Black Mirror is like 100% tech. Oh. And I know this is episode 9, and I should have mentioned this back on episode 1, and forgive me for not. There's a ton of freaking cuss words in these shows. Just absolutely disgusting usage. It's like, I'm really hoping that in the future, when people snap to their senses again and say, we probably shouldn't be talking like that all the time, that no child will be forced to watch this god-awful garbage because of the language. And they'll probably have to go in and re-edit a bunch of them to make, and I mean all shows right now, because just cussing is just so rampant, as if it's nothing. Well, it is something. And it's an adult behavior that if you want to use it in adult settings like gangster movies and stuff like that, fine. But don't put it in these shows that, like Star Trek. Star Trek, the original series, all the way up until CBS bought it and just destroyed that brand, another brand down the drain. They never cussed. You didn't need to. I remember growing up and hearing Dr. McCoy go, in a pig's eye. And I'm like, I have no idea what that means. And he says, go to the devil. Clever usages of words. Instead of F this, F that, F this, F that. Alright. Onward to 10. Let's see what I'm getting into. As for you, I will see you in the future.